Right then guys, how's it going, and welcome back to your Premier League predictions for game week 33. And what a week of football we've got coming up. With the Easter weekend, there are so many games to predict this week, and that includes Liverpool taking on Manchester United, Chelsea taking on Arsenal as that race for Champions League really heats up. We've also got Watford taking on Brentford as that race to get out of the relegation zone continues to heat up. And we've got the rematch as Man City take on Liverpool for the second time in just over a week, but this time in the FA Cup semi-final, and we will predict and go through all of those games along with many more. But first, those were my predictions from game week 32. We had some crazy results in there. Can't believe Everton managed to pick up 3 points against Manchester United, and then Ronaldo hitting some kid's phone out of his hand as well. And I did okay, but as always, loads of you guys got involved, so thank you for getting your predictions in on the last video, and I will put a whole load of them on screen now. And be sure to get your predictions down below for the games coming up this weekend. As I say, there's a whole load of them, so we will go through each of them now. So we are going to start with the Premier League games, and then we're going to finish with the two FA Cup semi-finals, which, as I say, is Man City, Liverpool and Chelsea Crystal Palace. But to start off, Premier League, this Saturday, 12:30, we have got Tottenham Hotspur taking on Brighton. Spurs currently sitting in 4th place and scored 4 goals at the weekend when they beat Aston Villa 4-0. Son went and scored himself a hat-trick, and they've now put themselves 3 points ahead of Arsenal in the league as well. Arsenal do have a game in hand, but Spurs really putting themselves in a pole position, taking on a Brighton side. And speaking of Arsenal, Brighton beat Arsenal at the weekend 2-1. Their first win in 7 games now, and we will talk about Arsenal a little bit more in a moment. But what a fantastic win for Brighton, and as I say, it's the perfect result for Spurs, to be honest, as well. So I have backed Spurs to continue with another win. I've gone 2-0 for them in that one. Moving on to the 3 o'clock kickoffs now, and starting off with Manchester United taking on Norwich. So we've got Man United currently sitting in 7th place, and I mentioned it earlier, losing against Everton at the weekend was, for me, unexpected and obviously not a good result. Now 6 points off 4th. They've got a manager who's not going to be there very soon. They're trying to line up another one. We've got Ronaldo getting frustrated at the end of games, and it's actually at the point now where he's being linked away in the summer. Is he going to want to stay at Man United if they're not getting Champions League football? We don't know. Taking on a Norwich side who are currently sitting in 20th place, bottom of the league. I mean, they got themselves a fantastic win at the weekend, beating Burnley 2-0. Is that a glimmer of hope for Norwich, or is it game over? 7 points of safety. I mean, they're playing a Man United side who are not having a good time of it right now, but they are going to, I mean, if they want Europa League football, they have to win this game. I have backed Man United 1-0. Can Norwich cause an upset? I really don't know. We'll have to see. Still at 3 o'clock, Southampton sitting in 14th place. Are they on the beach now? I mean, they just lost 6-0 against Chelsea. 3-0 down after 20 minutes. I've spoken about Southampton a fair bit in these videos. Well, I speak about them every week. But I spoke about the fact that they had that kind of outsider chance at maybe a Europa League conference spot. And as time's gone on, they clearly didn't want to play in that tournament, did they? Because they've got worse as the weeks have gone on. I just think they're in that place now where they're mid-table and nothing's really happening. But I think they owe it to the fans to play this home game against Arsenal and really turn up for it. You know, we could talk about Arsenal, 5th place now. Are they on the beach? Do they not want European football either? I mean, losing 2-1 against Brighton and losing 3-0 against Palace in the last game as well. Again, it was theirs to lose. They were in prime position. They had all the points. They had all the games in hand. And they're slowly but surely trying to throw it away. Arteta's been called out for the game against Brighton, you know, playing Xhaka at left back and maybe making some changes that really, you know, shouldn't have been made. And also we had the whole farce with the disallowed goal as well. But I have backed Arsenal. I've gone 2-1. It just depends it depends which Southampton side want to turn up, and it depends which side Arsenal want to turn up as well. And the final 3 o'clock kickoff, we have got Watford taking on Brentford. So Watford currently sitting in 19th place, Brentford sitting in 13th place. Watford losing 3-0 against Leeds is a big loss for them. Again, a side, you know, who could still have time to get out there. 6 points from safety. It's not looking good, and to add to that, the big stars are being linked away. Saw, the main one, is looking like he could very well go in the summer. To turn it around against a Brentford side who may well be on the beach now. Who knows? Now 12 points clear of relegation. Ivan Toney getting a goal and an assist. 2-0 win against West Ham at the weekend, which again was another result I didn't really see coming. So can Watford catch Brentford cold? Maybe if they've lowered their guard after, you know, but getting them pretty much selves into safety. I've backed Brentford 2-0. I mean, Watford haven't looked good, and who knows? Anything can happen in the Premier League, but I think Brentford's probably the safer bet. Moving on to the Sunday now, and this one's on Sky at 2:15. We have got Newcastle taking on Leicester. So Newcastle is currently sitting in 15th place now after a fantastic win against Wolves at the weekend. 10 points clear. Job done for Newcastle. It's hard to believe, you know, that Eddie Howe went into Newcastle with 0 wins, second bottom of the Premier League, and has now managed to turn it around the way he has. Chris Wood scoring a penalty goal. He hasn't scored too many since he's arrived, but it was an important one. And Bruno, what a game he had. Taking on Leicester side, who, again, are another team who are pretty much mid-table finish, but have turned on a little bit of form recently, winning the last 3 of 5 games. Beat Crystal Palace 2-1. I've backed Newcastle 1-0. It's another home game for Newcastle. It's the second of 3 home games in a row. And I'm going to back Newcastle to do it again. I'm going to go 1-0. Again on Sunday at 2:15, but not on TV. We have got West Ham taking on Burnley. So West Ham currently sitting in 6th place. They are continuing their streak of win-lose, win-lose, win-lose. And that trend continued with a 2-0 loss against Brentford at the weekend. Does that mean that they beat Burnley this weekend? Quite possibly. Now 6 points away from 4th place. You know, again, another team whose form is just not in keeping with the way they had been playing, and now it's looking tougher and tougher for what could have been a Champions League spot. But they are taking on a Burnley side who, again, you know, beat Everton. And everyone's thinking if they can beat Norwich here, then maybe they've got a shot. Losing 2-0 at the weekend. You know, if anything, that was probably the easiest game on paper they've got from now till the end of the season. And they lost. 4 points from safety. I'm going to stick with West Ham's current run of form, and I'm going to go 1-0 West Ham. Moving on to the Tuesday night now, so we're getting into the next week of games. We have got Liverpool taking on Manchester United. So Liverpool currently sitting in 2nd place. What a game. What a game against Man City. It's a real advert for how good the Premier League is. We're 2-0, we're down twice. We're 1-0 down, got it back to 1-1. We're 2-1 down, got it back to 2-2. Now it comes down to the remaining games. You know, was that the decider of the season? It wasn't. They're still 1 point apart. Now we've just got to see what happens in the rest of these games. And I've already spoken about Manchester United in this video, so I won't repeat myself. But surely, you know, despite their poor form, they aren't going to want to let, you know, rivals Liverpool win this game. I've backed Liverpool. I've gone 2-1. I think I've got to. I think they're looking great, and Man United aren't. But you know, obviously it's a big game, and I think sometimes form goes out the window in these kind of games. But I think that's the way I've got to go. Moving on to the Wednesday night now at 7:45 on Sky. We have got Chelsea taking on Arsenal. So Chelsea currently sitting in 3rd place. Really had some making up to do after their 4-1 loss against Brentford the other week. And they really did that with their 6-0 win against Southampton. What a fantastic win it was. I think, did Mount get 2? Werner got 2. They were just scoring goals for fun, weren't they? Taking on an Arsenal side who, again, I've already spoken about in this video, so I won't go through it again. But, as I say, you know, if they want that Champions League spot, they need to come out and win this game. You know, obviously Chelsea are pretty nailed on for that third place spot, but it's the fourth that's up for grabs. And following a loss against 2 losses in a row against Palace and Brighton, I think they're going to do well to win this one. But, as I say, which Arsenal's going to turn up? That's the question. I've backed Chelsea 1-0. I think it could be a close game. But I think that's 1-0 either way, or maybe even a 1-1. But I think my money's on Chelsea. Still on the Wednesday and still at 7:45, but not on TV. We have got Everton taking on Leicester. So Everton sitting in 17th place. Like, the Premier League just never ceases to surprise you, does it? Because Everton have had one mad season. It started off so well, it all went wrong. They got Frank Lampard in, it got even worse. They're playing against Burnley. You're thinking this is the game on paper that they've got to win. They lose it, and then they go and beat Man United 1-0. Pickford plays a fantastic game, and they're 4 points clear of the relegation zone. They're taking on a Leicester side who, again, I've spoken about already. Have picked up some good recent form, but really are kind of, you know, mid-table finish. That Desbury Hall played a fantastic game for Leicester in their win versus Crystal Palace, so he's possibly one to look out for. I've gone 1-1. I've just put it on the fence. Next up again on the Wednesday, again at 7:45, but not on TV. We have got Newcastle taking on Crystal Palace. So Newcastle's sitting in 15th place. As I said, I've already spoken about Newcastle in this video. They beat Wolves, they then play Leicester, and then they'll play Crystal Palace, and this will be their 3rd home game in a row. So a great chance again to pick up another 3 points and basically nail on that safety in the Premier League this season. Taking on a Crystal Palace side who, as I mentioned, beat Arsenal 3-0 not too long ago, but then losing against Leicester 2-1. Vieira has come out and praised how good Zaha has been this season. I'm pretty sure he's either matched or already exceeded the number of goals he's ever scored in the Premier League. So a cracking season for him, but he's saying he still wants more from him. And can he get more from him against Newcastle? Maybe, but I've backed Newcastle 1-0 again. Hopefully they'll make it 3 home wins in a row. Still on the Wednesday night, but at 8 o'clock we've got Man City taking on Brighton. So Man City still top of the league in 1st place by just that 1 point after the 2-2 draw against Liverpool. Again, what a fantastic game that was. Man City might be slightly disappointed that they took the lead twice and let it go twice, but still playing a great side. Jesus, what a great game for him. I've never actually been the biggest fan of his, but I've got to say he had a fantastic game against Liverpool. Taking on a Brighton side who I've already spoken about. I mean, they've got a pretty tough week, haven't they? They've got Spurs on the Saturday, then Man City on the Wednesday. I bet they're ready for the season to end, to be honest. And I've backed Man City to win it 3-1. And the final Premier League game of Game Week 33, I know there's a lot of them, is Thursday night at 7:45 on Sky. We have got Burnley taking on Southampton. I've already spoken about both of them. Burnley are trying to stay in the Premier League. Southampton really are kind of done. I've gone 1-1 for that one. So let me know your thoughts on all of those Premier League games down below. But before we go, we are also going to predict the 2 FA Cup semi-finals as well. Starting off with the game I spoke about at the start of this video, the rematch, as Man City take on Liverpool again for the 2nd time in just over a week. It's on Saturday at 3:30 and it's on BBC One. I'm really interested to see how this game goes because they've literally just played each other a week ago. Are they going to come out and play the same game? Are they going to change things tactically? Are they going to maybe switch some players in and out? There are so many games going on. As you know, from the amount of talking I've done this video, both teams are still in the FA Cup. Both teams are still in the fight for the 1st place in the Premier League. Both teams are still in the Champions League as well. I think one thing Man City do have an advantage over Liverpool on is just the sheer number of players they can switch in and out. Liverpool have got some fantastic players on the bench as well, but I think you can't not play Salah, you can't not play Mane, and there's so many games going on. And even Jota, for me, I think has turned into a real 1st team starter for Liverpool. And I backed Liverpool to win that game at the weekend in the Premier League. But I'm going to back Man City to win this one. I'm going to go 1-0. And the other semi-final is on the Sunday, and it's at 4:30, and this one's on ITV. It's Chelsea taking on Crystal Palace. Again, Crystal Palace are possibly sitting in quite a good spot. I think Chelsea will be the favourites, but it's the magic of the cup, and you don't know what's going to happen. But I actually feeling a little bit from Crystal Palace in this one, just because, again, Chelsea want to make sure they're keeping that third place spot for the end of the season. Crystal Palace, really, their season in the Premier League's over. They'll have full attention on this game coming up. So I think it could be a close one. But watching Chelsea win 6-0 against Southampton, it's hard not to back them. So I've gone Chelsea 2-0. And that is it, guys. So those are all of my Premier League predictions up there. Be sure to let me know your predictions for all of them down in the comments below, along with the FA Cup fixtures as well. I don't normally do them, but I thought I'd include them this week for a bit of fun. So let me know all of your predictions down below. I do go through all of them, and I always make sure to shout out and put some comments on the screen in the next video. So if you did enjoy this video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. I'm doing it every game week from now till the end of the season, and there's not that many left. So if you are enjoying it, please do drop a like. It really helps me and the channel. Loads of videos this week. I will be at the Newcastle versus Leicester game this Sunday, so if you're interested in match day vlogs, be sure to look out for that, and even check out the video I did at the weekend against Wolves as well. Alright guys, thanks for watching as always. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you later.